Good evening. How y'all doing? It's a little bit something different for me today. I know I'm normally posting fishing videos. That's my main pastime, something I love to do. But another thing that I've grown fond of is collecting. This is what I really wanted to show y'all. The SOG Mini Micro Tool Clip. This little tool, they're calling this tool 9 tools in one. That's advertised. Okay, I guess you can nitpick and call everything a tool on this thing. I mean, you could probably even call it a spring for some other use, but no, it's not. But it does have some very solid tools. I like the fact that it has, first of all, the pocket clip, goes in your pocket. The overall length on this tool is 3.9 inches. So from tip to tip, 3.9 inches. Very cool. It weighs 3.3 ounces. It's also very light, easy to carry. I mean, I can hide the whole thing in my hand. And for really on a day-to-day use, this is great. You know, of course, this SOG reactor is also a wonderful everyday carry knife. It is not an overly large knife. You can see how it fits in my hand. It's nice. But this one here, I wanted to share with you, and I also made some modifications to this knife. I've read a little bit about this knife. I decided to buy this knife, and some of the things I immediately saw that some people were complaining about in some of their, I guess you'd say, reviews on this particular knife. Now, to go over real quick what it comes with the pliers, of course. It comes with, they're calling this the bolt and nut gripper portion of the pliers, and then there's the wire cutters down there in the pliers. It has a Phillips screwdriver on this side of the pliers handle, just milled right into this side of the pliers handle. It has, if you come over here, you can see got a nice large thumbnail opening. And they all open from outboard, so you don't need to do any kind of flipping or open. That's one thing that appealed to me about this style knife as opposed to this. I don't like the flipping back and forth. All right, so these blades and accessories are not locking, so you do have to be careful when you're operating that knife. But what you've got here is you've got a cross-cut file, good for small filing usage or you know, purposes. You can, you know, do your nails. You can also use it on certain soft metals. Another thing about this file is it has this contoured or convex little area right here that you can use for a fire starter. You know, if I had an actual fire starter of the rod, that's what that's for. You can flick that fire starter. This is the large flathead screwdriver / pry bar. So in case you wanted to pry a paint can lid or whatever, you could. And it's also a pretty handy little screwdriver. And there's a close-up of that. Now on this side of the file, you notice that it's one directional file, and on this side, cross-cut. Okay. All right. Now, next tool we're going to come to is going to be the bottle opener. You can see it has a standard, regular, nice size, large bottle opener and a small flathead screwdriver. There's the thickness. And then finally, we have the blade. The blade on this knife. Let me see. Well, I don't have the exact dimensions of just the blade. There's a blade, just standard, very nice, sharp, stainless. Alright, pocket clip, of course. Let's see. Now let's move into the, I'll tell you what, before we get into the modifications, let me let you look at what the knife would come, what it would look like when you purchase. Okay, so So when you purchase this knife, it would look like this. Right here, there would be also a lanyard, a ring where you could tie a lanyard to a ring right here. Okay, you can see it's removed on this one. We'll go over that in a minute. One thing that I like is that's all you have to do with this particular knife is just slide that down, and there's your pliers, and they are substantial. They're just for comparison. You see, this is the Leatherman. Let me get it where you can see it. This is the Leatherman, the Skeletal, and this is the SOG Mini. And they are for what I use this for, opening valves and things like that. In a pinch, nothing. I'm not going to use these every day for that. But when I need it, it's good to have it. That is nice. They close nice and tight. They grip awfully good. They do have the soft wire cutter right there, as you can see. Now, I'll talk a little bit about some of the complaints that I heard people had about this particular knife. Some people would mention that this particular knife would open up in their pocket. Okay, now remember, this was not here. This was not here. You can see this is something that I did add it. It just looked like that, with that there, and there was also one here. Now this is very poor design, I think. I love this little knife. As a matter of fact, it is one of my favorites, even above some of these others. But what I saw most people complaining about was when you utilize this thing in your pocket, when you use this as a pocket clip and you slid this down in your pocket, well, it would also push this button up and open the pliers in your pocket. You can see on this side that what I have done is ground that down flush. I've taken my Dremel tool and I've ground that down. See how this button naturally sticks up enough for you to grip it and manipulate it, either slide it forward, slide it back. Well, it came straight through. It comes straight through the body of the knife, and that's what it had there as well. Well, I got rid of that, so there is nothing to catch on this side. This in itself makes this tool awesome. Awesome. I think this solved most of the problems that I saw on the internet as well as in my pocket. I can slide this all day long in and out of my pocket, and these pliers are not coming open. There's nothing for me to grip there. Okay, you can slide that in your pocket, no problem. All I had to do was take my Dremel, grind that down. Had to be careful. You can see I got a little marks on that handle, but they're superficial. They're not deep. And I left it high, just like it was. That's how it comes from the factory. Remember, it looked like this right here on the bottom as well. Now, the other thing I did just for a little added peace of mind, meaning that I need these pliers every now and again. I don't need these pliers daily. So they had this nice, over here, like I said, this was the lanyard clip. It went underneath this bolt. Okay, I took my Dremel and I cut out, as you can see, that lanyard clip. I didn't manipulate any of this where it's mounted under this hole. I just moved it from here to here. And then where it would make a loop right there, just make a solid loop for you to attach your rope through. Went from here around to there. I Dremeled that out. So I mounted it under this screw, which is nothing to it. Remove that screw, put it up under there, and I Dremeled that out, and now look what it does. Okay, so now it holds this detent, it holds this little switch, well, button, not switch, this little button forward, and that's what causes the pliers to disengage. Remember, this button has to be slid back. Well, that's just another added security because, like I said, I use the pliers and I need them on the run in the field, but I don't need them that often. So now I've got this, and it is right there ready to go when I need it. The only thing is I will have to take a little bit of time, take my fingernail, move that up, slide this down, and there's my pliers. Okay, close it, push that up, slide my little manipulated piece, my little self-made piece, or remanufactured, because like I said, it was the pocket clip here. Put it there. Now that's not coming loose in my pocket. There's nothing here. I love these. Love it. For what you've got here, and like I said, for what you've got, this is an awesome little tool. Once you've made these modifications, where it doesn't open up, because, you know, when you have this in your pocket, and you're carrying it, and you have this stud is still in place like it was, and it gets caught inside your pocket, and now it opens up to this inside your pocket, that's a pain. That's a pain to reach in there and dig all this. You got to manipulate this close enough to pull it out through your pocket. Okay, I understand. But the way this fits in the hands, the amount of grip that you have on it, the tools that I like to have, which is screwdriver, of course, bottle opener, larger screwdriver, file. Don't use it so much, but hey, maybe I will. And the blade. That's what I need in an everyday carry knife. That is exactly what I need. Now, I think that SOG could have made these changes to this little knife, and probably, or done something in this nature. It doesn't have to be that, of course. This looks funky, but something like that, and probably sold a pile of these things instead of having them be discontinued. All right, so let's just look real quickly at some of the capabilities of this knife. All right, solid wire cutter. Okay, solid wire cutter. Oh, that one flew off. No problem. Okay, soft wire cutter. No problem. No problem. Let's try the 10 gauge. Let's try the big stuff here. All right, now this is 10 gauge wire, and I don't know if you can see, but 10 gauge wire basically takes up more, fills up the whole darn thing. Now I'm not gonna get too crazy, but I don't want to break my pliers. But okay, the pliers on this are really struggling with that, and I'm not gonna force it anymore, only because I love this little tool, and I don't want to tear it up. All right. It didn't have much luck with that big wire. I don't expect it to, though. That's not what I bought. I didn't buy it for that. I didn't buy it for lineman usage. These pliers, they did well on that. They did well on that. Of course, they're also not recommended to cut that, but the compound leverage system and this blade did really well on the pliers. The Leatherman, let's just try. Give us a fresh piece here. Okay, Leatherman. It does cut this okay, but 10 gauge strand. You can see what the Leatherman did. Now, just for reference, this is the SOG. This is the SOG reactor. Fresh piece of wire right there. Wow, clips it right off. You can see Leatherman. SOG. I don't know. All right. So anyway, if you want more information on just exactly how I did this and made these alterations to this particular blade, you can message me, and I'll try and do something a little bit more detailed on just this one. But anyway, that's my take on these.